Good morning. We're gonna have a good day. We're loading up the fuel trailer right now. We're gonna take fuel up to the combine, get that ready to go for the day. Dad is spraying some wheat. We were spraying our herbicide on our wheat already this fall. The grain dryer ran all night, and there's still a little wet corn in the wet bin, but it's getting down to the end. So by the time we start shelling, it'll be just about empty. And we've got a surprise coming today. It's gonna be a good one. Stick around. Starting our day off with a little more fuel and government juice. Okay, we are moving the combine to the next field, which is a half a mile that way. But we have to go the other way and go all the way around the block because the bridges are too narrow and too low weight ratings to get across. They're only 7-ton bridges, 2 of them. So we got to go the long way around. Target field for the day. Right here, there's 76 acres, I believe, in this one. It is 110-day corn, I believe, and should be a pretty decent farm. So we're going to just make a little hole here. We're going to peel these first 3 passes back to be able to do the ends, and then make a partial pass out there, just enough to get the trucks in off the road and get the rest of the stuff moved here. All right, well, Phil took me back to the farm. We unhooked the fuel trailer. Brock was there, so I took him up to get the grain cart. Now we're heading back to the field and gonna get the combine here, and then Phil will bring some trucks. So the plan here today is I'm gonna open this field up. We're gonna get the end rows and get done around some of the electric lines and stuff. And then my father-in-law is coming back up a little bit later this morning. Actually, probably not too much later now. And we're gonna put him in the combine. That's the plan. So we've got to, I just want to make it easier for him and get some of this stuff that's, you know, a little more difficult done and out of the way. Waiting for Brock to get here with the cart. He had to go around too, so a longer trip for him. I noticed that my feeder house sounds a little noisy. I wonder if our chain is getting loose here. So since I got a couple of minutes, we're going to tighten that up a little. That's better. It's supposed to rub on this, but it's not supposed to be super loose. So we tighten it up. I don't know, we moved that sprocket forward that much. Let's see if that quiets it down a little bit. We had to tighten that chain on the unloading auger the other day. They all stretch. You use them, they stretch, they wear. That's normal. We replace those chains every single year. So we've got this row of electric poles that runs through this field. And so I'm taking this pass down because this is the last straight one because we start along that road. Some of these ones curve and the rows kind of shut off when they got into this already planted pass here. So I'm trying to get the stuff around these electric poles, and then we still got the ends on the far side to do up here yet before I jump out of the combine here. All right, we have got this field pretty well opened up here. Father-in-law Steve is back today. He's going to run combine for us the rest of the day. I've got some other stuff going on that you guys are going to want to see, so we're going to go check that out. But we're going to let him get going here, him and Brock. It's the first time I can ever remember on our farm we have no family members in the harvest crew. I guess Phil's doing the trucking, but you know what I mean, in the field. So he should be good. We got the passes close to the electric poles done, got all the end rows done, so he's in good shape. I ran up here to the irrigation stuff. I had to pick up this injection pump, the old one that we don't use anymore. Just making sure everything is cleaned up and winterized and good to go for the winter. So I think we're pretty decent here. Waiting for something to get here. Let's be honest, I'm waiting for something to get here. All right, guys, so I am repping my Greenmark equipment shirt on today because Greenmark is hooking me up. They have been extremely generous to me over time here. Last year we got to demo that X9 combine. You remember that day? Well, today we've got an 8R410 with a 2660 VT disc. All right, guys, this thing is cool. So we had to drive around the outside of the field and map the boundary, and we just did that with the tractor. And I did not map the actual field boundary. We kind of left it smaller because I don't really want to do the whole field right now. So our boundary looks like that. That's not really the shape of the field, but that's okay. And we're doing autonomy mode with ride along. So I'm riding in the seat here, but it's doing everything. I'm not driving, I'm not doing anything. It's actually doing some point rows right now. We're gonna get out here on the end and make sure the tool's doing a good job, and then let her go with nobody in the cab here, I think. So, oh yeah, this is cool. It is windy out here, but it's doing a good job. We'll let's see, we might go a little deeper or try and, I don't know, we'll see. Really, I'm interested in what this tillage tool is going to do, because it's kind of what I've been thinking about upgrading to. So it's definitely knocking the rows out and all of the root balls. You can see them laying here. I like that. Getting these out, getting everything laid down on the soil so that it's going to decompose a little bit faster. And we're trying to move enough dirt to bury stuff. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. Nothing's blowing away yet, and it's very windy out here. So this looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now that we know everything is set and working like we want to, we're going to do this again. I'm going to see if I can do this. So you tell me if I do something wrong. But we're going to go to autonomy, and we're going to turn this on, and we're going to hit exit cab. And we're going to read all of that and hit OK. Wait, okay. We're going to wait for this to say ready. Operator into seat. Oh, I got to get out. All right, that should be it. Yeah, get out. Okay, now get out of the way. So the John Deere autonomy stuff has a lot more safety systems on it than my other autonomous machine that we run in this field. So we're gonna get out of here, and do you have to tell it to go on your phone? Or does it just go? Okay, so we've got it on the phone here, and you gotta hit the start autonomy button and then swipe across and it will go. That is cool. Hopefully it's not too windy and you guys can hear okay, but it honks the horn, flashes the lights. We're gonna stay outside the boundary, and then there it goes. Holy cow. Dang, that's freaking cool. Drop the tool down, there it goes. All right, so we're gonna watch this a little bit. I'm gonna be around, but we've got a combine issue I gotta go address. So this thing's gonna keep working while I go and do that. All right, we got an RC1 error code. It's a power distribution thing. It says to check a fuse. Fuses are under here, so we're gonna check that and start there. The good news is there's a John Deere mechanic up there just making sure that autonomous tractor is gonna run okay. So if we have a major problem, we'll just go get him. Oop, thought that was on a rope. Blown fuse, how about that? It was right. We'll see if that fixes it. All right, blown fuses are easy fixes, so that was no problem. We're gonna head back up to this field with the autonomous tractor in it. We're gonna talk to Quinn. Quinn is the John Deere Green Mark rep. He's gonna tell us a little bit more about it. We're gonna watch the thing work and see what we can get for some video footage. I'm gonna try and get the drone up. Hopefully that doesn't disrupt it. All right, we're back out here. They must have jumped in the cab. The one John Deere tech is out here, and I think he's just checking it out. First time he's seen an autonomous one running too. And trying to get a feel for it, ride in it a little bit. Took us a little while to get going. We had to map that boundary, obviously, and then it needed a software update, which is par for the course. And that took a little while, but once we got it here, it seems to be working pretty good. It did stop one time when we were riding in there. I don't know if it saw something or what, but it stopped, and it stops right now. If you're gonna ride in one of these, you best put your seatbelt on, or it will throw you through a window, because it sees something, it doesn't know what it is, and so it stops and then kind of analyzes, or I think there's actually a person somewhere that looks at them. And then it backed up, lifted the tool up, backed up, set it back down, and kept going. We didn't have to do anything, it just kept going. But yeah, that was pretty neat to watch. So we mapped out about 100 acres of this 170 acre field, and if he's okay with it, we're just going to let this thing run and do the whole thing. So this is a John Deere owned demo, just like the combine was last year, and quite frankly, I am interested in autonomous tractors. We'll talk more about that later on in this video. But really, I'm also very interested in this 2660 VT tool. I think this would be a great replacement for our Landau, and I kind of wanted to see the job that it would do. And so when they offered to bring out this autonomous tractor to demo the autonomy side of it, and they told me it was pulling a 2660, I'm like, heck yeah, let's do that. So yeah, so they got out of it. You guys are walking out here. He's starting it back up from his phone, and it should take off and go here. It beeped. There it goes. Lights are flashing. Warning, get away. The cameras see you, it will stop. Like, we're outside of the field boundary, so it should ignore us because we're outside of the boundary. But it doesn't let anything get close to it. Away it goes. Nope, she stopped in a hurry there. Didn't like something. All right, here we go. There is nobody in that tractor, and that is really cool.
What's going too fast? Can you drive it?
Boys, what do you think of this?
Cool.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we get one?
Yeah.
Grayson thinks we should get one. Well, then what are you guys going to do? Get a 9R one? They make them. We could. We could make our 8RX drive autonomously.
How?
We just buy the sensors for it, and it would do it. Actually,
you could.
We could.
For less?
We don't use our 9R or our 8RX for any tillage, though. It's only for tillage right now.
What?
Oh man, it's windy today. So, all right, we're gonna watch this thing make a turn. Hopefully, it does this all on its own. Just slowing down a little bit. I wondered if the blowing corn stalks would give it any trouble or not. So, this edge is pretty close to the actual boundary, but I put it 120 foot of headlands in. So. Dang, that is awesome. There he goes. All right, guys, I am here with Quinn from Greenmark. Quinn is handling the autonomous tractor project. You've been doing this all year?
Yeah, we've been doing it for the last month or so.
Just last month, okay.
1,000 acres
Did you do this in the spring, or was somebody else handling it?
Someone else did.
Okay, so you've been doing it this fall. But
Yep.
Yeah, so it's out here running. So he's covered 1,000 acres with it. Tell us just a little bit more about exactly, what it is, the tractor, the tool, and what makes it autonomous. How do they do that?
Yeah, sure. So we got an 8R410 VT power shift. It's got 16 cameras on the cab, 4 on each side of the cab, and I guess that's the majority of the tractor.
So this tractor came from the factory, autonomous, ready or capable already. I've seen some of them they put a kit. They'll put like a camera sensor on top of the weight bracket, but this one doesn't have that. It's all built in
the cab.
Integrated onto the cab.
Yep. And then I guess you got anything else on the tractor?
I mean that's good on the tractor there.
All right. So we got a 2660 VT. It's got TrueSet Active on that tool. So it is going. We are going to set it at 4 inches currently, and it's going to know where it's at all times and adjust based off of that parameter of 4 inches.
Okay. So it's using that TrueSet Active, so it's always knows where it's at and stuff, and it's communicating that with the tractor.
Yep.
I mean, and you can see and make any adjustments to that from your phone, right? While we're running this autonomously. So through the John Deere Op Center mobile app, you can control everything and see what it's doing, where it's at in the field, all that kind of stuff. Any issues come up, alerts or anything like that, it's going to show up on your phone. You can address them there or run to the field if you need to, kind of thing. Right?
Yep.
Very cool. Can you buy this?
Yes, it is open to customers right now.
This is not this is a demo, but this is not a pre-production thing. This is an actual for-sale tractor that anybody could buy. We could buy one of these and run it on our farm now, right?
Correct, yes.
So if somebody wanted an autonomous tractor now, what can they do with it?
The main thing we're doing currently is tillage. I mean,
Tillage.
we have obviously building blocks that are coming with the other production steps, but tillage is
So
what
it's
we can do currently.
it's tillage only right now, but we're running a 2660 right here, 2730s, the colder chisels, field cultivators in the spring, pretty much all John Deere tillage tools, right?
Yes.
Are capable.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And he said, obviously, like you start in one spot, and then it just keeps getting better from there. Where are we at? Right there it is. It just keeps getting better from there and more stuff. So obviously they're going to work towards it on planters and all the other stuff as well. But right now, any John Deere tillage tool, John Deere tractor, you can run an autonomously.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So thanks again to Greenmark for letting me demo this and letting it run out here today. We're going to watch it a little bit. How sensitive are the cameras to things in the air?
I mean,
I want to know if I can fly my drone without screwing it up.
I don't know.
Okay.
We have flown a drone a couple weeks ago, and it was above the cab.
Yep, we'll stay above it and stay
that's
away
fine,
from
so
it
those
quite a
cameras
bit.
are pointing down. Obviously,
Pointing down. All right.
So stay above the cab, you should be fine.
All right, we're going to try that, see if we can't get some footage. Although the cab is what you want to film, right? You want to be looking right in that back window that there's nobody in there. So I don't know. We'll see how we do here. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to show you other than there's a tractor driving out there with nobody in it. And that's insane. But it's working. All right, so let's say you were doing this. You had an autonomous tractor like this. Obviously, we set it up and we mapped the boundary. Now, it's doing the main passes through the field. Will it do the end rows when it's done? Will it clean up the edges?
Yes, it will.
It will.
It's set up to do all the end rows.
Okay, and
6 mile an hour.
It's 6 mile an hour, so it slows down, does those edges, and there's some settings in there for how it turns the corners and stuff. We have a riser out here for our irrigation system, right? So we made sure that we made a boundary around that so it knows that that's there. But just because I'm curious, if I didn't map that out, would the camera sense it and shut it down before it ran into it? Yeah.
They would sense it.
So it's pretty much going to be pretty safe from that standpoint. I assume electric poles are similar. Do you map out all the electric poles, or do you just let it find them?
That are in the field?
Yeah.
Anything in the field.
Anything in the
that it can
field.
hit, I would
You put a boundary
recommend
around.
putting a boundary around it. Correct.
Okay. So I think a lot of people maybe are running them where they're going to let it do this, and then maybe you get in and clean up some edges or end rows or something like that. But it will do it all on its own. So the way that I see this fitting, and if it was something that we were going to do on our farm, it's just like right now, right? When we're busy with harvest, I have limited help most of the time. We've got a little more this fall than we've had in the past, but if Dad and I and Phil are the only 3 people here, we are all needed to keep the combine moving. We can't keep the tillage tractor moving, the 2730 Ripper. And so like the days when, they're spreading chicken litter for us right now, and if we didn't have the help, we'd have to worry about that tomorrow or whatever, but this way we could just take the tractor to the field and let it do its thing. We go and harvest, you come back when it's done, and you move it to the next field, and away it goes. Or, maybe you want to drive the tractor. Everybody's going to complain, like, what are you going to farm for if you're not going to be in the tractor, right? I get that. But maybe you drive it during the day and you get tired at 8 o'clock at night and say, well, you just finish the field, right? And let it finish the field, and it works till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then the next morning you go to a new field or something. So I think there's a lot of applications for this. I think it's going to be much more common in the near future than what a lot of people might realize. All right, we are back here around the farm. We had a little trouble with our dryer grain system. Not really the dryer. The generator was overheating. So we've had this terrible east wind for the last couple of days, blowing hard out of the east, and it's doing it again this afternoon. Well, our dryer is here. The generator's on the other side of those bins. It's blowing all the fines and bees wings and all the stuff that way. And it plugged up the radiator on the generator, and it was overheating. And so we had to shut the generator down. Phil got it cleaned out enough and cooled down that we can run the leg, but if we put too much load on our generator, it's overheating. So we're just going to fill the wet bin, and then we'll worry about the generator or the drying side of it later. We might have to just dry corn tomorrow or something. So you can see we got 3 lights on the wet bin. We're getting towards full. I don't know if we'll get this field done today or not. Probably not. Never really thought we would. There goes the first full transport load of propane of grain drying season. That's a big one too. Well, I just ran back up to the field. It's still going. Couple of things. It's moving. We're past our riser, and they're still standing, and it doesn't appear to have hit them, so that's awesome. 2, when I pulled up, or first pulled in, I noticed it stopped and it was backing up. I think it saw these ruts or something here, and wasn't sure what to do about it, so it stopped and it backed up, and then it went right through them. Kind of worked them down. We're going to need to hit those again. Close that up. I remember this from the spring or this summer. One day I had to walk out here and I was like, oh, that rain machine made a mess here. It did. Never got stuck, but it made a mess. Anyway, we'll get that closed up a little bit. So cool. She's still running. Man, that is so cool to watch. Although I will say, some days I struggle to find content in the when we're farming and busy in the combine and the grain cart because it's boring. It's the same thing all day. Imagine how boring my content will be if the tractor's just out doing its thing and I'm not even in it. It's doing a heck of a job. I mean, this looks fantastic out here. The quality of the tillage job I am thrilled with. We're kind of off that sand, getting into some heavier ground here. It's beautiful. It's doing a great job. We do have it where it's, you know, not going all the way into the point rows, clearing the back there. I kind of made the boundary right through the middle. Like I said, there's a chance of a tile project out here. We didn't want to work through stuff where we might put tile in. So it's not going all the way through, but it will come up all the way out to the road out here and should do a pretty good job on the front side of this field. All right, just for fun, let's watch it make another turn. So the warning lights are on when it's in autonomy mode. It just leaves those lights on. I assume the headlights or the bright field working lights will come on if it gets dark. I don't know if this will still be here when it gets dark running or not. It's moving across this field pretty quickly. Framing, come on, man. You will note that there is a GPS receiver on the implement as well. It does have to have that so that it knows where the tillage tool is in relation to the tractor. But dang, it's cool. It's slowing down. Making its turn. Set her down and go. Oh, that is so cool. Pretty dang impressive. Pretty dang impressive. I mean, can you guys believe this technology exists? That's insane to me. It's taken 20 years. It's taken 20 years to go from a auto steer GPS enabled tractor to one that just drives itself. You don't even have to be in the cab. Ha! Where does that put us 20 years from now? It's insane. The amount of technology and the advancements in agriculture is astonishing. Every now and then I'll be talking to somebody in person who doesn't know from a farm background, and I'm not picking on anybody, especially anybody specifically. It's just different worlds, right? The traditional sense of a farmer is that we're simpletons and everything's old school and manual labor and hard work and you know, no creature comforts and stuff. And just like, they'll ask me, do you have air conditioning in your tractors? I'm like, oh, listen. Not only do we have air conditioning, we have refrigerators built into our tractors. And oh, by the way, they drive themselves. Like, it's cool that Tesla builds self-driving cars, right? That's cool. We've been there for 20 years. The technology in agriculture is far more advanced than what most people realize. Well, we'll come back and check on the harvest crew. They are making some progress. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish the field tonight. We got plenty of time, but I don't know if we'll have space in the wet bin since the dryer's not running today or anymore. So we'll see how far they make it. They're making a lot of progress. I mean, we don't have that far to go yet, so let's see what kind of yield this field's had. It seemed to be pretty good. This is a pretty decent variety. Got a little standability there. Got a wind gust coming through. This is not a great farm on a dry year. It's a pretty decent field. It's well tiled. However, it's a lot of higher ground, a lot of hilltops instead of bottoms. So not the most productive soil, especially when we can get dry like we did this year. So for the most part, I mean, the tops are breaking out of this corn, but most of it looks pretty healthy. Just a few tar spot specks. Our fungicide worked pretty good. Well, we'll get some more action shots here from the harvest stuff. I'm going to jump in with the combine. He's probably going to stop because he doesn't know that I'll just climb the ladder with it running, but let's see. Brock's hand steering. Wonder why we're doing that. Whatever. Now he's good. He dropped the ears that I picked up. I don't get to just be a spectator very often. All right, well, I guess I better go. We have got to take the fuel trailer up to the autonomous machine. I thought there was a fair bit in it yet, but it must not have been enough. Quinn just called me and said, hey, it's not going to have enough fill to finish that. So, all right, well, that's the deal. They let us use the tractor for a few hours. Their tillage equipment we don't have to pay them anything for that, but we got to put the fuel in it that we use, and I am perfectly fine with that. All right, we're gonna fuel up here a little bit, but I thought we'd walk around the machine a little bit while it stopped here. So this is a 2660 VT. I think this would be a direct replacement for our Landau. Very similar. You can see it's got serrated, kind of very shallow concavity on the blades, but it's a hydraulically adjustable gang angle. So there's a cylinder right here that you can vary the angle of these blades from 0 straight all the way to 12 degrees where we have it set now. That would be really nice to be able to shed it a little less aggressive in the spring, leave the ground a little bit smoother, not be moving as much dirt, but then in the fall when we need to move dirt and cover corn stalks and stuff, it'll do that as well. Same thing on the back gang. You can see it does have lights. That's for the autonomy side of stuff. Got a double rolling basket, knife edge in the front, round bar in the back, hydraulic down pressure on all of those things. Yeah, she's a pretty sweet looking machine here. This is a 30-footer, I believe, and this 410 is pulling it 10 miles an hour. I was surprised how well it pulls it. There you can see some of the cameras. There's 4 cameras on this side, and then the sensor suite in the back here. There's cameras on the side of that as well. I don't know if that's just all computers and processing power in there, or if there's something else going on with it. And then on the front here, it's got another set, 4 cameras, and then more on this side. All right, so I made a little social media post about this earlier, and there was 2 questions that come up. So while I got Quinn here, we're going to ask him.
Sure.
Somebody wants to know what happens if the GPS signal goes out.
So if the GPS signal goes out, it will not let you enable autonomy mode at all. So it will not run.
So if it loses GPS signal in the middle of the field, it's just going to stop, right? Yep. And if, say, a sensor went out or something, but really the sensors on this, there's the cameras, but outside of that, you're just the normal sensors on the tractor or a tillage tool. It's the height sensors, it's the steering angle sensors, that kind of stuff that's going to prevent anything from working anyway. Yep. There's a lot of skepticism of the, it's an awful expensive piece of machine to let it go by itself, and do we trust it? But everything is fail-safe. It will not go outside of the boundary of the field. No. It will not do if it senses any trouble, any obstacle, anything that it doesn't know what to do with, it just stops, right?
Yep, correct. So 100%. Yep.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, right? To just send a $500,000 tractor out there and let it do its thing on its own, but they've got it figured out, and everything will just stop if there's a problem. It gets better and better all the time. The more that they run, the more the cameras sense stuff, the more they can tell, all right, was that a serious obstacle, was it not? It gets better and better and better, and it will just keep getting that way. So, yep. All right, we're gonna get your truck out of the field here, start this thing back up, let her keep working. So he jumped back into cab to tell it to go into autonomy mode, and then it asks you if you're gonna ride or out of the cab, exit the cab, and he clicked the exit cab mode. So he's getting it out, just making sure everything is good here, and then he'll go down his phone there and start it back up. So it has done about 50 acres in this field, which is about half. There's 107 inside the boundary there. So we put in the fuel that he thought it was going to use for the field, and it should be good to go. He's going home. I'm going back to do something else, and it's just gonna be done. That's like, that is so freaking cool. Like, oh, I can't explain how awesome this is. Well, the lights are all on the wet bin again, so it's about full. They're down to the last 10 acres or so up there at the field. I don't know if we're gonna have enough room. We might get it all on the trucks and the grain cart. I'm gonna run up there and see. Our chicken litter people spread this field up here the other day, and they left this payloader sit there. And then the service people showed up yesterday. And oh boy, they took the whole front axle. Must have been a pretty major problem. There go all the deer. We got one buck, and a couple of does, and maybe a yearling there. Yep, chased them out now. Just 2 rounds left to go here. We're gonna get this one done tonight. Cool. People ask me on my live streams all the time what happens when we run over animals. I tell them most of them are fast enough to get out of the way and smart enough, like the rabbits and the deer. The ones that aren't are the raccoons, like that one. And I really don't want to run him through a combine, but he's getting awfully slow. So we're gonna just slow down and keep poking him until he runs ahead of us. Oh, slow down, slow down. There he goes. All right, keep it going. He jumped over a row, so we can't see him as good, but he's still up there about 10 feet in front of the head. And he's running out of cover. He's gonna stop when he gets to the end because he doesn't want to be exposed to the open. And then he's gonna run because he realizes that that's a less dangerous option than sitting where he's at. There goes the rabbit. There he goes. There goes another rabbit. They're fast. The coon, they're too slow. Well, we did get this one done. What a deal. Highly variable. You can see it's red on the hilltops, green in the dips in the valleys. That's water holding capacity. That's what happens when we have dry years every time. So field average 196. It's not horrible corn. This is one of our north fields as well, kind of close to where the irrigated stuff was that caught much less rain. As we move south, I expect the corn to get better. So we've got one more farm that's about 4 miles east of here, and that one caught some more rain too. It might be decent, although it's on pretty tough dirt. And then everything else is south here. Cool. Well, Steve did a good job in the combine. He's going to take that truck back for us. I'm sure Brock wants to go see this tractor running, so grab him and we're going to run up there. The equipment's going to stay here. I'm fairly certain we won't get much combine tomorrow. There's chances of rain in the morning, which we were kind of planning on, but it backed off on the rain amounts, so I don't know if it's actually going to rain or not. But we've got all that wet corn we've got to deal with, and it's just going to take a little while for us to get caught up. We need to haul some dry corn. Tomorrow's going to be a good day to do that, to just dry into the overhead and have Phil hauling it out. So it's probably what we're going to do. We came back up to see our tractor running, and unfortunately it has stopped. And I called Quinn and asked him what was going on with it, and he said there was a blind spot or something. It couldn't reverse further. So we can fix it and reverse it and do everything, but I don't have the app on my phone, or I don't have this in my ops center to be able to do anything with it. And so he has to be able to start it, and apparently you have to be within 1,500 feet or a certain distance of the tractor to actually do it. So he can't do it from where he is at. So we're probably done running her autonomously, at least with nobody in the cab. But I'm gonna jump in. We're gonna see what it looks like, and maybe run it a little bit manually. There's what it did. So it did all of the interior, and it's just got the headlands to do basically, which I'm not worried about the headlands back here because that's not the actual field boundary, but we might go up and do some of these around the front. Or yeah, let's play for a little bit. We can, however, do ride-along autonomy without a phone. So Brock and I we're checking it out. What do you think, Brock?
Well, we went
we haven't gone very far yet. So it does. So it's speed limited on the ends. I forgot. So we put in a maximum speed for turns and stuff at 6 miles an hour. So that's what it will do on the ends and everything. And it's just going to make a big curve here. It's doing laps basically, doing this perimeter to try and finish it up. So we're just gonna ride for a few minutes. It's making these little curly Q loops on the ends here and doing a pretty good job. It's interesting, it starts on the inside of the end rows and then works its way out rather than starting on the outside and working your way in like we do. But that's because we usually need a line to follow. It doesn't. It's got a line to follow. Essentially, the guidance lines and everything, it's what autopath boundaries is, right? So like we have this big boundary that we drew, and then it draws in all of the guidance lines, the blue lines here or over here, and it just follows them. So it's got the entire field and plan laid out before it ever even starts. It's pretty neat. It's really cool, actually. It's very cool. There's a herd of deer up here. We'll see if it senses them and shuts down, if they run close or if they stay away or what happens here. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 deer standing a couple hundred yards from here. And they're starting to run. I think they're going to stay far enough away. I don't know what the limit is. I don't know how far or close you can get before the sensors are like, hey, what's that? Yeah, they're going to stay away. Okay. There's some of our ruts from our rain machine. We were in yesterday, or 2 days ago when we were... Was that yesterday? That was yesterday. When we were leveling stuff up. Or winterizing.
I wasn't here yesterday.
You weren't here yesterday? Okay, it was 2 days ago. Now she's backing up. This will be an interesting one. See what it does here. Don't like that it is backing up over stuff that it has already tilled. Like that's not ideal. The fact that it can back up autonomously though is pretty impressive, right? That's why it's got an implement receiver, so it doesn't jackknife it. All right, are we stuck or are we turning around? I think we're going forward now. It's honking, so it's warning people that hey, we're coming forward. Oh, nope, we're not going forward. We're still going backwards. Now we're going forward.
Little arrow on the tractor.
There's, oh, okay. There's lights on the back of the implement, but they're not on, and that's going to cause a problem trying to run this at dark. I think this VT tool is, I don't know. There's 2 7-pin connectors on it, which they shouldn't have that. I think they got something they're still, experimenting with or trying, or I don't know. But the lights aren't on. However, if we switch to 7-pin connectors, then the lights come on, but it doesn't go up and down. I think one of them's powering the lights and one of them's powering the true set. So you got to be able to go up and down. Well, it did it. So it was going this way. It backed up. It made this corner, and then it backed all the way up here. It's going to square it off. Are we going? Or are we stuck?
It does.
It went into park. I think we're stuck. Still says autonomy. We'll sit here for a second. Alright, I got tired of waiting on the autonomy to make the corner and back up and get right and everything, and I think it's getting too dark for it to really see. So we kicked her into manual driving mode, just turned the autonomy off. It's still running auto track and everything is still doing what it's supposed to do. It's going to even control lifting and lowering the implement. I just I don't even know what I have to do. I just have to hold the seat switch down, I think. Is it going to turn on the end for me? It might. I'm not sure. I've taken over and doing a little more manually driving now. We're still using the auto steer and everything, but I'm controlling the speed and the rest of it and just kind of getting a better feel for the tool and the job that it's doing and the tractor and whether we like that or not. And I gotta say, everything is pretty nice. I am pretty impressed with the job that the 2660 is doing. It's moving dirt nice. It's leveling stuff up. It's pinning the stalks down. This is heavy corn stalk residue, right? We had really good corn out here. Some parts of the field more than others, but it's cutting through it and burying it. Usually we like to let our stalks sit for a couple of weeks after harvest so they dry out a little bit more and they're a little more brittle before we get to it with the tillage. But this was yesterday, so it has not had time to do any of that. And it's still doing a really good job. So this tool is a 30.5 footer. It's a little, or 30 feet 3 inches it says there. It's a little wider than our Landau. It's 29 foot. But according to the settings, we're pulling it about 4 inches deep. I don't know if we're quite that deep or not. Either way, it's pretty impressive that this tractor can pull it at 9 to 10 miles an hour. It's doing a phenomenal job. I'm impressed. This tractor's got some ponies. This is a 410. It's bigger than our 8RX, and you don't have the parasitic loss from the tracks, so it feels a lot more powerful. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just park it there. We got the field, basically the whole thing covered. I did the boundaries, mostly the end rows along the road and stuff here, and this side I didn't worry about all of this because that doesn't matter anyway. We got to clean it up with our Landau. Someday we'll be up here and we'll clean up those triangles and do this stuff. But yeah, pretty good, pretty darn good. Looks like we could maybe do a little bit in the center there. Ooh, look at that, you can move the map. Doesn't do that on the Gen 4s. Okay, so I assume they're going to come and get this tomorrow, but that's totally up to them when they want to do it. I really appreciate the opportunity. Okay, that's it for tonight. A little early quitting tonight. 7:45, so I guess it's not that early, but man, that was cool. That was a fun day. I didn't run the combine a lot. Got to do a little bit there, but then we got to mess around with that autonomous tractor, and really there wasn't that much for me to do, as you would expect with an autonomous tractor. So thank you again to Greenmark, to John Deere for letting that thing come out here, and thank you to you guys for following me, because you're the reason that those things show up here every now and then. I'm probably closer to a buyer of the autonomous tractor, or especially that vertical tilt disc, than I was an X9 combine like we got last year, but they're not imminent. Let's just put it that way. And so these demos are mostly because I can publicize them and show this stuff off for them, and I really appreciate you guys for being around here for that, so thank you. I don't know what tomorrow looks like. If it might be raining in the morning, that'd be fine with me. If it's not raining, I don't know. We've got we've got a lot of corn to dry. We've got to clean out the fan and the radiator on our generator, so we're going to probably mess with that in the morning. And then we got to dry corn. Phil's probably going to want to haul dry corn to town, start filling some more contracts. So there's a chance that we'll start to dry her up and just dry into the overhead and haul corn, which would be fine. I've got a few other little odds and ends projects that I could work on, so not shelling tomorrow doesn't break my heart at all, especially if it's raining a little bit. But we will see. We will be around. We will make a video, so check back tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you again tomorrow.